My responsibility to America. Every week I attend my church and have an opportunity to worship. I believe what is being taught, as do the others around me. Nobody forced me to be there, and I was not told what to worship or that I could not worship at all. Many times I get into a routine and do not stop to think about why I can do what I do. The ability to worship how and when I want comes from the freedoms that this country gives to all of its citizens. We would not have those freedoms if it were not for the men and the women that lay down their lives to defend our freedoms. Recently, while talking with a classmate about his freedoms, I mentioned that he would not be able to make the choices he does without the sacrifice of our veterans. His reply made me burn inside. He disagreed and expressed that the veterans are not needed and they have not done anything to help him personally. I could not understand how he could take all of his freedoms for granted and not once thank the heroes for their sacrifice. I have always respected and honored veterans' contributions to our freedom. My classmate did not understand what Nelson Mandela so eloquently stated: "There's no easy walk to freedom anywhere, and many of us will have to pass through the valley of the shadow of death again and again before we reach the mountaintop of our desires." I can do so much more to reverence the veterans that passed through the valley of the shadow of death, so I can have the freedoms I use today. I love the freedoms that I have and want to ensure that the next generation can enjoy those same freedoms. If others do not want to fight to protect this country and the freedoms we have, I will step up and take their place. I feel that since other people are empathetic about their freedoms and do not know how important it is to defend their freedoms, I need to be the one to act. Currently, less than 0.5% of Americans defend their freedom through military service. The highest act someone could perform is to lay down their life for their country. The responsibility to do so rests on my shoulders, and I am willing to face anything that stands in the way of American freedoms. The best way I can defend my freedom is to join the military. Posterity. You will never know how much it costs the present generation to preserve your freedom. I hope you will make good use of it. If you do not, I shall repent in heaven that I ever took half the pains to preserve it. This quote from John Adams reminds me to protect the freedoms our forefathers have fought 8 generations for. Freedom is like a pen. If used all the time, it will work when needed next. If the pen is left and forgotten, the ink will dry up and the pen will be rendered useless. It is my responsibility to exercise my freedoms. Ezra Taft Benson, a former Secretary of Agriculture, stated, "Of all sad things in the world, the saddest is to see a people who have once known liberty and freedom and then lost it." He observed a country that lost its freedom when he toured war-torn Germany after World War II. The people had trusted their freedom to one tyrant's ideas and had paid a terrible price because of it. They lost the right to speech, freedom of religion, the ability to choose a leader, the right to defend themselves, and in many cases, the right to live. I never want to give up my freedoms, and it is my responsibility to defend them, as many before me have. It is a privilege to defend the freedoms that my citizenship in America affords me. Many before me have fought so bravely to defend those freedoms, and I want to follow in their footsteps. Hopefully, I can give the next generations a bright future and an opportunity for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.